So it's Thursday now, the 25th, if I'm not mistaken. It's around noon, so I'm just going to pick up the kids from school. Normally they come at home for lunch, so that's wonderful to have that opportunity. And the sun is shining, as you can see. It's very cold, at least as what we call here in Belgium cold. It's -5, I think. And so I wanted to just have a walk outside, and I thought, well, I can just take the camera. I have a new microphone which should make the sound much better, and I hope it's working. And I'll post a picture of this on Facebook. It's a bit funny as well. So I was thinking, yesterday Anja and I were saying to each other, well, the recording of the third partita went very well, and I'm still pleased with that. And I hope if you have listened to it, it's online now, that you share the same impression that I have. It felt very balanced. I was really focused. That line about which I was talking in the previous vlog was really there, very steady, and so I'm really happy with that. And we were talking about that, and she said, well, if you look at that from the outside, the impression is that, now I've been preparing this recording session for the whole day, mentally, so to speak, but that's actually not the case. I was working that day very hard at my desk. I had to finish a lot of paperwork for a project I'm doing. I've been telling about that in that last vlog where I was driving in my car. And at 6:30, 7 o'clock maybe, after dinner I think, I closed my computer and I said to Anja, now I have to prepare the live stream setup, because I need the computer to set up there, and also there I want to share you in the coming vlogs what it takes to live stream. It's just my setup. So I wasn't prepared at all. I hadn't played the whole day, and in fact 20 minutes before the live stream I started to play a little bit, because I felt my fingers were not feeling great. Of course, not having been sitting at the desktop on my desk and typing on my computer the whole day. It's terrible for your fingers. And so I was just playing 50 minutes before the live stream happened, and even then the third partita was totally unprepared in a sense. Of course, I have been rehearsing the partitas a lot lately. That's true, and that was the best decision I could do, to do that live with you. But all in all, for a recording session, let's say if I would have hired Abbey Road Studio, which probably is very expensive. I've asked one day for a price list, but they won't give it to me. You have to schedule a meeting with them, and they decide if you're important enough, quote unquote. I think so. I understand their position. But anyway, when I would have hired Abbey Road Studio, I probably wouldn't have been working on that administration that day. I would have been preparing my recording session very carefully, because I had only one chance, or maybe two days. But now I had the luxury, so to say, also quote unquote, to work at a completely different project, nothing to do with music, building of a music instrument, an organ, pipe organ. And so I just jumped into that recording session, and it turned out to be great. There are two things I think are important to learn from that, and I have to take care here. By the way, this is the surrounding in which we live. So very beautiful. You hear the fighters, partly Belgian army, partly American army, I think. So there's an American base also here, combined with Belgian army. I don't know how it works. But anyway, two things I take from that. And one thing I know for a long time, I think it's worth sharing with you. It's never time. You will never find a moment in which you say, now everything, organizational, from your schedule, from your life, is going out of the way to make place for that one thing that you want to happen. It will not. Even if you would schedule such an important event as a recording session, you can have a bad night of sleep, or you can wake up with a headache, or your stomach can feel bad. And then what are you going to do then? Cancel the recording or just continue? And in fact, with YouTube, this schedule that I had until, of course, now these days, January and February, my schedule is completely out because I have to focus on the recording of the partitas. But I learned that it's never the moment. Things happen, shit happens, always. And so for many of those recordings that I've made on YouTube, it looks very clean and very controlled. And in one way or another it is, because that's part of, I think, being a professional musician, if I can call myself like that, but I speak in general. You have to be prepared. You have to be prepared for the unknown. And if the elements of your around you, surrounding you, can be anything. During a concert, somebody is making a noise, somebody's coming in, or previously for a recording, a cable that's not working, or there is a bus sound that we need to take care of, or one of the cameras is not charged, we forgot to load the batteries. The instrument is a little bit less stable than I thought before, so I have to retune some things. Things happen, but you have to be prepared for that, I think, as a professional player, to overcome that. And it's never the moment. It's always things will happen. And so I'm telling you this because I often see people who have great plans and who potentially could do great things postpone things because things are not right. I'm not going to turn here because I only went for a short walk. It's very nice. Look at that. So we live a very nice place. The only downside is the road in front of our house keeps me busy sometimes, but one cannot have it all, in life. I have so much. Beautiful family. The luxury of doing things that I love to do. And again, I'm sharing that with you. It's not that I'm not only doing that. I try to make it possible. And now I'm terribly backlit. But anyway. But to close the story, I see often of sometimes people who have beautiful things to share, to make, to do, which require work and time, research, effort, whatever. But they postpone things because it's quote unquote not the right time. There are other things to do. And I have always the impression that they take care of, and many actually take care of the end of things. I mean, in English, I don't know the exact word, but it is cleaning up the small things first before taking care of the big things. And I believe that's one of the reasons that few of those projects that potentially could be great projects ever happen. I know literally persons, and I'm going to turn because you don't see me like that. I literally know persons that are now 70 years old that had a great talent and just didn't make it. So just a small editorial cut for the airplanes to fly over. One of the reasons we thinking of building that studio, we shouldn't hear them there. would be great. Anyway, one of the downsides also a little bit from this environment, but I guess they have to fight, have to protect us from who knows what kind of enemy. But anyway, so to end this conversation with you about it's never time, it's never the right time. I literally know people that are now 70, 75. They had a great life, but they had a much greater potential, in a sense. And maybe they didn't want to do more than they did, but I know from some of them that they did, but it was never the right time. And on a larger scale, you could say we're talking about small things that happened in life, scheduled, your health, whatever. On a larger scale, it's also, you might have a job that doesn't let you, or doesn't give you really the time and the focus and the effort to do the things you want to do. But even then, having a big picture, just... And there is another one. I would support a political party for silence. But anyway, so your target, your focus, it's so important. What are the important things? Maybe I'll have to talk about that a little bit more in the future vlogs. What are the 3 things that you really would like to achieve in your life, and just go for it? And remember, and it's just my experience that I share with you, and that's the last thing for this vlog, it is never the time, but the small things you do every day to achieve what you want to achieve on a long term, that's the things that make you succeed. Not saying that I am succeeding, but you can work on it. So that's all. Hope you like this. Thanks for watching and listening. Subscribe for the channel and share the video, and we see each other very soon again. That was directly into the microphone. Goodbye.